ish. And I've got some stuff I have to get done. So here I am doing it. Even though I'd rather be doing other things. Well, I hate that. I need these this weekend. So what I'm going to do is work on finishing this rattle. It is a big Longhorn Watusi cross horn, and I've got it filled with gems. And it is just basically a warrior's rattle. So I'm going to work on decorating the top and polishing up. I'll have to polish up the horn at some point, but I'm going to work on putting this together and turn it on into something. I crocheted a holder for it, but I don't like it. So I'm going to have to come up with something else, but I think I'm going to adorn it with this raccoon pelvis and do some braiding around the top. Luna is down for a nap. She's probably going to throw a fit. She was walking around like a toddler going, "Oh, I'm not sleepy," trying to get into everything to stay awake. So I was like, "You need a nap." Badly. Well, I thought I had all my scissors. Okay. That's okay. One of the first things I'm going to do is a giant gathering knot. I don't know how much leather I actually have to work with, so we're going to have to be nice. And I just got to finish this up. I've got another one started. Let me knock my drink off the table. I've got another one started. That's got a big ram horn. It's over here behind me. And I've been finishing up some projects. I finished up a baby bib for the nurse at my doctor's office because I have to have my blood work and EKG tomorrow. So I finished up a hand crocheted baby bib, a really pretty one. It looks like a doily for her for tomorrow. I'm trying to crochet her something every month. So by the time the baby gets here, I've given her several months of gifts. She's a really sweet girl. And I finished up, what else did I finish up? I've been working all day. What else? Oh, I finished up the mushroom purse. Probably going to do another one of those, just to be quite honest. And finished up a mushroom purse. Let's see, what else did I finish up? I started on, I've got the jackalope that looks like taxidermy. I started a whitetail that looks like a little shrunken taxidermy. I started a whitetail deer. If you haven't seen David's Etsy store, the candle deer, whitetail antler candle holders sold. So those are fixing to be, I've got them packaged for them since I'm trying to be helpful. But this weekend we have the 127. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go or not with my health. That's just been a crapshoot here lately, so we'll just see how I feel. He does have a huge space at this craft show, like a 52-foot space. And they are advertising hot and heavy that they've got him there. David just doesn't self-promote. He needs to learn how to do that. But he just is not one to self-promote. And so it's nice when these places are kind enough to give him some publicity. I appreciate it. Because it's really hard to get him to self-promote. I mean, it's just really hard. Okay, let's see what we can do here now with this. So I just did just a gathering knot up here at the top around the leather. Probably what I'm going to do is put fur up here, just to be quite honest. Probably. And then I want to put this raccoon pelvis on there and wire it on or braid it on with leather. Oh God, they spit me back out in that algorithm. Oh Lord. Hello, Charlotte. Why does YouTube do that? They just throw me out in the algorithm. Hello, Gavin. So if you've never been to my channel, hi, my name's Liz. My husband does trapping and tanning, and I'm a retired parole officer. I used to supervise murders for the state. I used to do interstate compact, and I used to be institutional parole officer, and I taught cognitive behavioral therapy to inmates. And then I did counseling as well. I have a disorder like MS, so I am now retired because of my health. And I am Scots-Irish, a little bit German in there, but Scots-Irish and Native, basically. My mother has Lenape, which is a derivative of the Delaware tribe. But I look like my Irish daddy mostly. I just, genetics. And so I'm home a lot due to my health. And I am actually going to go up to the newspaper office tomorrow and help do some of the fair articles because it's fair time in our area and she needs some help. And I type like 108 words per minute. I used to do medical transcription. So I'm going to go up and do that tomorrow. So I've got to finish some stuff. And I've been pushing it off for way too long. Way too long. So now I'm at a point where I got to get it done. And I've got another dream catcher drying on the porch. It's going to be a giant one. I'm going to try to do some fox pelt on it. And I've got one that I've got about 3/4 of the way down that I'm going to be doing some tail drops on. And I'm just trying to use these old sables for the moment. To cover up just some of the ugly on these things. But I don't know if I really want to. I'm afraid that may not let it rattle the way it needs to rattle. This is where I get into my conundrums of how do I want to make this pretty. I could obviously do some feather drops and some other stuff, but at the same time, I'm kind of over that. And I hate winding feather drops. If you know me, I hate beading and I hate winding feather drops. So hello, nice to know you. That's what I hate to do. Also, I'm having a Texas hair day. Ignore it. Hey, Sally. I haven't got to my email. So, but I do know that I do want this raccoon pelvis on this. So when whoever, it's probably going to be a warrior rattle for dancing. It's probably what it's going to be. So when whoever has it, rattles it and holds it, you know, you get some authentic looking stuff. Let me go. I need scissors. Hang on. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay. Honestly, I guess I'm probably going to have to put some rabbit fur on it. I would much prefer to put coyote or even deer or raccoon. But David is just now starting to tan from last season, and he's not, come on here, he's not got to where he's got extra for me to have right now, so I've not swiped any of his. So give me a few months, I'll swipe some. Okay. I want to do a cuff on this, but I don't want to do a super gigantic cuff. And I hate cutting fur in my house, but it's windy here, and if I go outside, it's just going to end up all over me. So I'm going to cut it in this bag and put it in this bag. And if you've never been to my husband's Etsy store, it's Hillbilly Heart Decor. He keeps probably usually around 20 items on there. They're handcrafted stuff, so it's not something that you can just, you know, repetitively do with, you know, it takes a while to do these things. And but he's had several things sell the last couple of days, so I don't know exactly what is still there. I just know that I glued that to my finger. I do know that the whitetail candelabras, the antler candelabras sold, so they are no longer there. Because he asked me to pack those while I was here today, and I did. So I've got my EKG and blood work tomorrow, so here I am. And Lena's taking a nap because she has been a giant toddler all day. She had that was hot. She had a seizure day a few days ago, and since then she's just been feeling awesome and just being a little turd. So I've got her put up while I do this because she was going to walk around and get into something and be like, I'm not tired, but get into something. Oh, I get cold and I get hot. I get cold and I get hot. I get cold and I get hot. I don't know why we keep getting thrown out into the algorithm. I have no idea. I don't know why it happens. I think YouTube just like, let's see if we can make her last nerve snap, and they throw me out into the algorithm. I swear I think that's what they do. So, oh, and if you haven't seen, David has been working on his skunks. So he's got the first round of his skunks tanned. He's already sold 2 that were like predominantly white. This is one that's got a really pretty, just regular pattern on him. And I don't know how many of those he still has listed. I know he's got the fur blanket listed. I'm trying to work a barter for another elk. I love elk hides, and I don't normally get the chance to have 2 in 1 year. But when these other like northern trappers are like, sure, we'll do a barter with you, and I'm like, I want an elk. And I'm like, what do you have to have from down here in Tennessee to give me an elk? So, you know, and sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. So I've got my fingers crossed that I'm going to get this elk. Because I don't usually get 2 in a year, and I'm so excited. Oh, I'm going to have to vacuum. So that's what's been going on here. Not, you know, not anything really. You've just been busy. I've just been busy. Luna went into seizure mode for a couple days. My little dog is epileptic. So my little dog went to seizure mode for a couple days, and it's just, I don't know, been a busy couple weeks with everything going on and health appointments and fair time. Y'all know, if you've followed me for a while, you do know that I do help the lady that has the newspaper office. We worked together when I was right out of high school. I worked at the newspaper, and we've kept in touch, and she now runs another newspaper. And so I help her every year at fair time, because at fair time she gets really swamped. And she has a small county newspaper, so it's really hard to find, you know, odd workers. And I just tell her, hey, you know, I never get out of the house, I'll come help. And basically she gives me a free subscription to the newspaper. So I get a newspaper all year, and I just help her a few times a year. Like last year I went in and typed the turkey recipes from the kids in school and did the Santa wish list. That was fun. I don't mind typing those. Those make me giggle. That was fun. I didn't care for that at all. That was enjoyable. And then I go back in, and, you know, she gets swamped. I'll help her with stuff. Or she has sometimes she has stuff where she has to go to areas in the state for seminars and stuff. And so then I'll step in and help out. I'm getting rabbit fur in my hair. I'll step in and help out. And it's fun. It gets me out of the house for a day or 2 if I'm feeling good. She always checks and she's like, are you okay? So I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. Very sweet woman. I enjoy helping. Kind of keeps me grounded in the community, which is hard to do when you're as sick as I am half the time. It's really hard to stay grounded in the community. It's one of my biggest pet peeves about being ill. And I miss being active in the community, because I used to be so active in the community. Now my health will not let me be active in the community. Oh God, we're getting messages held for review. What? Oh, probably not. No, I lifted weights. I'm just gonna show that because that's stupid. Look at the crap I get. Look at this. Look at the crap I get. Anyway, they thought I had very large parts of my body. I don't. So y'all men here for something that's not nice. No, because when I was like 11, 12, I started doing taxidermy because my brother had a taxidermy shop. Then we had a hunting lodge. Then we had a meat processing place. My dad was a farrier, a blacksmith. So before I was in school, I was planting tobacco with my grandpa, and I was tending chicken houses and hauling hay. And so literally by the time I was 12, I was already like a little behemoth. I was a little Amazon. And then I started halter breaking show cattle, showing sheep, training horses. I did some shoeing with my dad, and was a farmhand all the way through college. And in order to stay able to do those things, I had to lift weights such heavy weights that I couldn't lift with the women's group because nobody could spot me. So I had to get special permission to lift with the football team. So when I was 14, I was benching around 150. I was leg pressing around 690. So sadly, I built pecs before God gifted me with anything. So I'm just broad. Okay, so that's it. I'm built like a tree stump. So there, in case you're wondering, men, there you go. There you go. You don't have to talk about the way I'm built because literally I'm built like a water buffalo in a rice paddy field that's bloated on a bad day. So let your confusion and curiosity be evaded. Okay. I mean, I know my beauty is just, I mean, people just write songs, you know, and you know, what is it? Was it Helena of Troy? Her beauty, cast 1,000 ships together to start a war? She ain't got nothing on me. I tell you what, you people have too much time on your hands. You crack me up. You're the people I put GPS monitors on when I worked for the state. You see? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wire to this little pelvis, this little raccoon pelvis first. Wire, I'm going to leather. Y'all, it barely got to 71 degrees here today. What the crap is up with Mother Nature? She's bipolar. At least got like borderline personality. And I can diagnose. I got the education. But I'm not beginning to wonder about Mother Nature. Or about the people that make Mother Nature, you know, do her thing. Okay, so all I did was did a loop, and then I went back in front of the pelvis. So I'm going to actually just kind of use this to put it on the horn. This is a Watusi Longhorn cross horn. I've got the other one over there. Where did I get it? I got it at the Amish thrift shop. There's a song in there somewhere. You can find everything at the Amish thrift shop. Legit, you can. Like, you can find everything at the Amish gift shop. They have a little gift thrift and secondhand. And if I could go there every day, I would, but it's about 35 minutes away. But every time I go, I always find something absolutely just awesome. And the little girl that runs the thrift shop, she has a YouTube channel. And it's a really good YouTube channel. So if you ever want to check out the Amish settlement near me, it's the Muddy Pond settlement. And you can go and YouTube and probably find her channel and watch a little bit about that little settlement area. It is beautiful, beautiful place. Gosh, this is just, you know, this is difficult to do because there's no good way to hold this darn thing. Okay, let's get the other one moved through. So this has been the first one of these I've ever done. I've never seen a rattle made out of a Watusi Longhorn cross anything. So this is my first. I have seen them made out of water buffalo horns, steer horns, ram horns. I've got a ram horn when I'm working over there. But I've never seen them made out of Watusi. So, of course, I see these and go, you know, in the hopes that maybe if it doesn't sell this weekend, maybe next spring somebody from the tribes will come and take it and put it in the ceremonial house. That's always my go-to. I have several things that are used in ceremonial houses. They're retired after 1 to 2 seasons, but I have a lot of tribes that come and find me and buy stuff. And I'm the first generation away from being able to get basically my papers. But they still come search for me to buy my stuff. And they're very supportive of what I do because they know I'm keeping this alive. So very sweet people. But they do come find me and buy my art. And I appreciate that. It keeps me busy, especially since I was used to working like 90 hours a week. it's hard when your body craps out before your brain does, you know, and it's irritating and difficult. And this disorder for the first 6 or 7 years was really bad, and so once I finally got kind of made peace with it and got to a place where my nerves were dying, so I wasn't in the amount of discomfort I had been in, and I was done with the surgeries. I was just trying to find something to fill my time, because sadly it's taken a lot of my eyesight, and so reading has become difficult. And I used to read and keep up with all the psychology crap and everything, and I still try to, but the stupid disorder made it very difficult. So I do what I can. It's not always what I want to do, but I do what I can. Okay, so we've got this on there, and then I have 2 tails for some feathers. Now this will be a warrior's rattle. So when he's in dancing, he will have this. In a warrior's dance, they have rules. A warrior can never turn in a full circle, because that makes the enemy think that they're confused. They can never go backwards. That shows retreat, which is not allowed. It's just a really, like, I don't think I could keep all the dance rules in my head and do that the way that the other guys do. It's really interesting to watch, but it's just neat. So if you've never seen a warrior dance, and when they got the big plumage on and they have all their extra stuff, it's neat. And they want stuff that looks imposing when they're dancing. So I thought this would be a nice imposing thing. So a lot of them pack their tomahawks or certain stuff, and then some of them just have rattles. And so I thought this would be a great way to have something intimidating but still make noise. I'm trying to bridge the gap. Somebody's got to put them in their place, Sally. I don't. It's so irritating. It's so irritating. Some of the people that spend their time on the internet and come on here and say these stupid things, and I'm like, you do know that the laws around the internet are changing so quickly, and you know every state is different. Every state, it depends on their district attorney or their attorney general, and so it's just kind of a trickle down. So if one state sees another state do something successful at policing the internet, then the other state will say, okay, well, we can do that now. So it's kind of a leapfrog momentum with the states and policing the internet. And they're getting a little bit more restrictive. I've noticed that when I let people put nasty things in the comments, because what I'll do is certain words get flagged by YouTube anyway, and I can put certain words that I want flagged. So when they say certain things, YouTube will flag them. Then you automatically get monitored for like 30 days. If you're saying something of a sexual nature, then what they'll do is they'll follow you for about 30 days to see if you're doing this on a minor's page or someone underage, or you're being inappropriate. And then that's when you're getting really hot water. So, you know, if you're going to come here and be stupid, just be aware. That's what they do. And the internet laws are creeping in, y'all. I mean, if you stay up with the new laws and the talk going on in each state, you'll know that it's coming. It's coming. Okay, now I have my bag of bones. Of course I do. And I don't quite know what I want to put on here. But I don't really want to put a whole bunch. I don't think I want to put a skull on here, and I don't think I want to put teeth on here. I think I want to save those jaws for... I want to save the jaws for my dream catchers. So, let's work on some beads and some feathers. Even though I don't want to. I really don't. I hate beadwork. If y'all have been with me any amount of time, y'all hate beadwork. I hate it. Like more than almost anything, I hate beadwork. It is not fun. I don't enjoy it. And that's why I don't bead. My tribe's not big for beading anyway, but I don't bead. I don't like it. I don't want it. I ain't doing it. That's pretty much how I feel about that. So I'm going to take these hematite washers that I have, just little hematite washers, and I'm going to space them on some leather drops with some feathers. I've got some pheasant feathers. Remember the other day I said I had a pheasant plucking day? I've still got a lot of pheasant feathers. That bird gave up a lot of feathers. He was a big bird. Had a lot of plumage. And let me see if I can get these back in the bag without dropping them all. That's normally what I do. I don't know whose idea it was to string these before they put them in baggies, but it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. Okie dokie, artichoke. Wow, those didn't even come apart. I'm gonna put that right there. Let's see, I do also have some gemstones, but if I put those on there, I'll have to resin them later. So that will be a later thing. Okay, I've got 2 tails. All I'm going to do is cut one at a slant, and I'm going to try to put some hematite and some feathers on here. And we're not going to, it doesn't have to be gorgeous. And I may want to start with big. I may want to start with bone or wood. Hang on. I'm going to change my mind. I change my mind quite often. I don't mean to, it just happens. Where are my wood beads? There's one. I'm having a really hard time finding a new person for beads. I think Sally or Sal sent me a link in my email. I have flitted through my email to make sure I got it, but I haven't been able to catch up on my emails yet. I've been so flipping busy. Why can I not find what I want? There we go. I don't really want a lot on this because I don't want it to look frilly, but I need a bead to kind of anchor my... God, these beads are horrible. I need a bead to anchor my feathers on. And if you've been with me a while, you know that my bead guy, Curtis, retired because he was 90-something. I don't blame him for retiring. I would have retired too. But golly bum, I miss his beads. He made the prettiest... This is one of Curtis's beads. I have one left. And he made the most gorgeous bone burnt beads. And I can't replace him. I've tried several people, and I'm just not having good luck finding somebody that can make the quality of beads that Curtis made, and it's frustrating and irritating and all the other words you could put there. And I am irritated with, I don't know, I'm not seeing anything that really makes me want to put it on this, which is very strange. Normally I have an idea of kind of what I want to put on, but right now I'm not. Maybe we can do some silver caps and then put our feathers in the silver caps. That might work. And then it'll be pretty, but it won't be like girly. You don't want a person in a warrior dance to look girly. Obviously, they're not there to look like a girl, so you want to make sure that they look manly when they're in their warrior dance. And a lot of them don't like a lot of pretty. They would rather just have calm staples on their stuff, and not really have anything that's gonna draw too much attention in a negative way. So probably what I'll do is put little fur drops on top of this leather, and then you can see the chrome going down to the feathers. And I think that'll work, because I've noticed that if I doll up the warrior stuff too much, they don't like it. I mean, I understand. My husband's the same way. If you buy him anything remotely frilly, even like for church or funerals or, you know, it won't work. It looks kind of out of place on him too, though. I keep beads a long time too. I understand that completely. Hello, if you're popping in here, hello. Just overlook the trolls. YouTube's throwing me back out an algorithm, and we're when you get thrown out there, you just don't know what's gonna pop up. Sadly, it's not great individuals this time. So we'll just deal with it and go on. I'm doing an extra braid on this so that the rabbit fur will have something to cling to. I'm going to save this leather because I'll probably use it. My hair is killing me. It's got to go up. If I can get this out. It's got to go up. It's everywhere. Can you tell the weather changed in Tennessee? Because I've got some Texas hair. Apparently I went to a different state and didn't know it. Last winter I thought I lived in Canada. My hair apparently thinks it lives predominantly in Texas. I have a little braid pulled out because for this weekend we're going to be set up, and over the next month I've got to do some demonstrations for weaving and stuff like that. So I've got a braid pulled out that I'm going to band and bead. Ignore it. Okie dokie artichoke. Let's see. I may put teeth on there, but I'll have to come back and resin if I do that. Okay, pheasant feathers. And I have to do stuff in stages. And I try not to use turkey feathers too much on the guys' ceremonial stuff. I try to use the pheasant feathers because they like a different vibe with their stuff, and I get that too. I need 4. Give me one. I just used all of them. There's only one more left. I'm at the point where I have purchased feathers because nobody's chickens are molting. Personal problem, I know, but it's frustrating. I'm going to put 3 in one and 2 in the other. I'm going to pull these down and I'm going to nip the ends. I'm going to nip the quills. And then what I'm going to do is put some hot glue in there first and get them glued in there, and then, and then I'm going to put some resin tomorrow on them. I still haven't got my glue gun back from my husband, who took it to the fur shed a 3 weeks ago. I was like, I'll bring it right back. He did not. Oh, that's hot. Oh. He, in fact, did not bring it right back. Okay, so I've got 3 feathers in that bead cap, and I'll go back and put a little bit of leather around to get the little pin feathers tamed, and then put the secondary glue or resin. I'll look at it, see which one I want to use. I don't know which one I want to use yet. Clean up my mess. It's going to be bad. So I'm trying to make this just pretty for a male perspective. And they can get it and finish it to whatever dance outfit that they use. They can make it match some way, somehow. So, I always like to leave space for people to kind of finish up what I make. Oh, my necklace is hung in my sweater. So, dry glue, dry. And I'm going to go back and put some teeth on, and then I'll probably do a resin secure for the teeth as well. I just want to put some teeth on and kind of razzle-dazzle up a few of the empty spots, because I don't really want to have to go back and put another round of fur or anything, and I don't want to make it look too golly bum. Look at that big back coyote tooth. Woo! Succotash. That'd be pretty right there. Yeah. Those make really pretty earrings too, but I don't have the patience right now to make a pair of earrings. So there's its mate. That's like a back molar coyote tooth. Like the back molar coyote tooth. Luna, chill out. And then I want to use some of these little smaller ones up front just to kind of hide some of the gaps in the leather. So these are the smaller ones. They're still big. They're not too big to put in my jewelry trays and stuff in my jewelry. What do you want to call them? The little stainless steel and silver rims that I put them in. They're still too big for that. So I'll get 3 of those. That's what we'll do. We'll put one on each side and one on each side of the little ones in the middle. That's what we'll do. So what I'm going to do is just secure them with some hot glue at first. Then I'm going to have to come back in with different glue and resin. So this is going to be a multi-step. Y'all know when I start working on these stupid rattles, oh Lord, it takes me a long time. It takes me several days to get everything done. I've been working on this one for about a month altogether. And I should have had it done by now, but I kind of lost my momentum there for a little while. So it is what it is. And my dog went through like a seizure era, and you know, I just had a hard time. Getting back in the vibe to get crap done. But he's got that big sale this weekend, so ta-da, here I am. We'll be burning the midnight oil. And of course, the weeks that I need to be crafting nonstop is when the newspaper is like, hey, you want to come in and help? And I always say yes, because I don't want her to ever overlook me, because that is literally one of my most favorite things to still do when my health is good. So I don't want her to be like, okay, well, she said no, she probably doesn't want to help anymore. And I do. I enjoy getting out of the house. So I don't want to not show up. I want to go in and help her. So I'm going to go do that tomorrow before my EKG. Oh, that's pretty. Just one there is pretty. Well, okay. Maybe I just glued that to my finger. Okay, let me get this other one on over here, and then we'll see what it looks like. It's making me pretty happy. It's doing pretty good. I think David gets off at 5 today, so if you hear somebody come through the door, it's probably him. Don't freak out. I'm going to put this tooth right here. And then I'll have to do my resin work tomorrow or the next day, because tomorrow evening, because I've got too much crap going on this evening. Okay. Okie dokie. Now, this is not all the way done. Hang on, I've got glue strings. Gosh, that glue gun is my arch nemesis, I swear. Get off me. Okay. So we have the front with the feather drops in the caps. We got the tooth with a little bit of fur behind it. We've got the wired on pelvis, which I may put some decorative. I don't know. We'll see. And then I've got a big Cody canine, or a big Cody molar on each side. So when they hold this and they're dancing, of course they'll shake it more than I am. That's why I have to double and triple glue and resin these things, because the men get a little rambunctious when they're dancing. So, but I really like it. I'm going to probably do something to disguise this or bead this and clean it up and do the resin work. But it's kind of what I'm going for. And it's a Watusi Longhorn Crosshorn, if you're wondering what this is. And I have its mate over there, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I would like to do something and keep it here, because all my art always leaves me. And I would like to keep 1 or 2 things every once in a while, but I never do. So maybe I will. I don't know. I have 1 feather left. I guess I could put 1 feather in here. We do like the little sprouty feathers. Oh, this glue gun's irritating the crap out of me. It is the sorriest glue gun I have ever owned. Okay, I put 1 pheasant feather stick in that. we'll see if I put anything else up. I don't think I will. I don't think I will. Now, how do I want to cover that? I do want to put a little bit of fur on my feather drops, just to kind of mask. I barely want to mask the leather knots is what I'm wanting to do. And I want to keep those silver things from, hitting against the rattle so that it doesn't shake the feathers loose. Gosh, this rabbit fur is going everywhere, y'all. Cut it in a bag and it still goes everywhere. So let's see what I can do here. I'm not swearing this will work, but we're gonna try it. I do want them to see that it has a silver thing underneath it, but I don't want it really to be the star of the show. There we go. Hey, there we go. That's nice. Okay, yes. You kind of want people to have to kind of look like for Easter eggs when they're looking at your stuff, especially if you think it may get put in a ceremony or in a dance at a powwow. And I always kind of like hiding the little Easter eggs for people that buy my art. But it's hard to do that with the men's crafts because they really don't like that. They really don't like that. So I have to keep reminding myself, this is for men. This is for a warrior dance class. They don't like that crap. Don't do that, Elizabeth. And, I try to remember. But I like to hide little stuff in my art all the time. And like they'll call me the next year and go, I didn't see that until the other day. And I'm like, I know. That was my finger. If you're taking shots every time I burn myself, you're about 5 behind. Okay, so I do like that. I do like this. This way, the little silver caps will not beat the hand out of the feathers. And it won't get a secondary rattle that is not the gemstones inside the horn. We only want the rattles rattling. With that rhythm, we don't want anything else making noise. Because you don't want to have like a syncopated beat when you're dancing. You want everything to rattle correctly. I know it's weird. Just roll with it. I do have, let's see. Should I put those? I just don't know. I could cover that with fur and then put some teeth on it. Ideally, I would have fox fur, but like I said, David is not that far into his tanning yet this year, so we've not gotten to where I can swap. I can't go into the fur shop and say, can I have that? I'm not there yet. Because that's normally how I get a lot of my stuff that I put as extras on my art. I go in there and he's done quite a bit at that point, and I can say, ooh, can I have that? And he'll be like, yeah. But we're not there yet this year. So, but he is like he had everything skinned and prepped. Gosh, by what it was, end of June. It was like the earliest he'd ever had everything skinned and prepped before. It was really neat. Okay, now you can see the 2 points of the horn sticking up. And this, and the tooth. So I like that. I like how it kind of pulls your eyes in and you just see bone and not the leather. I like that a lot more. To the point where I could put some beads right there. I don't know. I don't want to do a whole lot of resin work. And then another thing I could do is come back with my paint markers and do specific colors on the pelvic bone. But then you get to where, unless you use like the health wheel, you start to isolate certain tribes because they don't like certain colors. So you have to be careful. But I really like it. I think it's turning out pretty. See, I can talk. I like it. I'm going to have to clean it up, do some resin work. But I think it's cute. Like I said, this is for men. The women's stuff I can make so much more cute. The men, not so much. I try. They get a little irritated. I've learned when to stop and be like, okay, that's all I'm going to be able to squeeze in there. They're going to get mad at me. I'm going to add these other teeth over here so that they're not floating around the kitchen, and when I come back to it, I can resin it really easily. Okay, so now I've got 2 and blue. I've got 2 teeth on each side. I like that. Okay, I think that's balanced. I may do a color up here on the top of the pelvis where the bone is peeking out right there. I've not made my mind up, but I do have to do a secondary glue and resin, and then I'm going to have to polish this. It's not going to come super clean. It's not going to be like super nice, just because it is, you know, it was not treated that great in, you know, before I got it. But it'll be nice enough. Trying to see if I've got any gem discs out to go on that area. I have to pick everything up on the floor, and my dog will legit try to eat it. She's a crafting nightmare. Another pheasant. I found another pheasant feather. I dropped it. Let's see where we could put him. I do kind of like it up here. I don't know though. Will it be okay right there? It might. Maybe. Yeah, that's good. Okay, I like that. We got another feather up here now. Okay, now we got 2 feathers. Okay, now we got 2 feathers. I like that. Everything's blowing because I got a fan on. But I think that the men will like this. They won't think it's too girly. And they know it won't rattle unless they make it rattle. So, kudos to me. Let me show you what I've been working on, though. Rabbit fur. Hang on. Let me show you what I've been working on. Oh, gosh, my back. Open. Thank you. I have been working on this. I wove it with sinew. Not my favorite thing to do because you have to chew it before you weave. I don't enjoy that, but it really does look more like I want it to look. So I've got 2 big tail drops to go on, and I've got some, I think I've got a little bit of some fox left, and that's what I'm reserving this for because it'll match the tail drops. And so I've been working on this for a while. I've got one that is big enough. It's probably, oh gosh, it's probably got a 3-foot length on it on the front porch drawing that I'm going to weave. That's going to be fun. So I've got that one outside on the porch drying so I can weave it. And then I've got this old feather pocketbook. And I mean, it's old. It's got patina around the, I washed it, but it's still got patina around the stuff. But it is just an old pouch purse. And it's got nice leather on it. And you draw it up. But it's faux fur. So it's easier to maintain. I made this, and it comes with a little matching coin purse. And I had almost forgot about this, so I'm going to take some pictures. I got it cleaned up a little bit. The eyelets are still going to have the patina stuff on them. I can't be bothered. But I'm going to take pictures of this. I'm going to put it on David's Etsy for him because I haven't used it. And I don't see me going to any powwows where I'm going to use it, so I'm going to let it go. Let's see. I made mushroom bags the other day. It's really hard to find authentic dream catchers. And sometimes I make pretty ones. But I do make the authentic ones as well. And if people want one like personally made for them if they're having an issue or something, I make those as well. But you have to like email me, tell me what's going on. And those are ones where like I shut my whole house down and kind of go into a state to weave those. But I use willow, and so we harvest willow. And I do use the sinew. It's not my favorite thing to use, but I do use it. Sometimes I used waxed cotton waxed twine, and it looks a lot like sinew without me having to chew on stuff to put it on there, so that's nice. I do the leather wrappings, the bones, the teeth, the natural beads, and the feathers. And then on some I go really girly. I still try to always use the willow rounds, because what's the point if you don't? And when I use the willow rounds, I make it girly. I put a lot of ribbons, and I even will do like embroidery sheets over the weave, and do a lot of, what's the name of it? Oh my gosh. It's that really pretty, it's like a chiffon almost, drapes, fabric drapes. And then I'll put prisms. Those are pretty too. Those are really pretty too. I've been in a crochet mood the last few weeks though, so I've been crocheting a lot. And I've got this to finish. I've been finishing everything, but I've still got to finish this. It's going to be one of those little coin pocketbooks that clip together, and it's going to be a mushroom. So I'm going to stuff this, put that on there, and then that will be the coin purse that opens and closes, and it will be a little mushroom when I get it done. I made 2 mushroom pocketbooks. I sent one home with Sabrina. She wanted one. I sent one home with her because I kind of, when I made it, lots of times when I make the first thing's kind of my prototype. And if I don't like it, or I think I need to improve on something, I normally gift it to friends. And that one had just kind of screamed Sabrina's name since the day I'd made it. So I figured I'd probably send it home with her when she visited, and I did. So that was nice. But I made 2 more. Let me see if I can grab those. Ouch. Okay, so I've got that gigantic one that I gave to David to put on his Etsy page. And I just made another little one that kind of looked like that. I've got it stuffed. I've got it stuffed with bags to hold the shape at the bottom. So this is just a little mushroom purse. And then I wanted one that had a little bit more character. So I made that. I haven't got it stuffed though. It's just kind of hanging out right now. I need to stuff it so that it has its shape when people are looking to buy it. I think that was cute. That's cute. I'm tickled with my little mushroom pocketbooks. And then, hang on. And then for the little nurse, we don't know if it's a boy or a girl yet. So I've just been crocheting kind of like neutral things. So I made a little, look, ain't it cute? I made a little bib. I've been making her plushies and like pacifier clips. I made her a cow pacifier clip, a possum. I can't remember everything I've made her. And I'm going to give her this tomorrow when I do my EKG and my blood work tomorrow. So, and then I've got my jackalope that I made, and I'm currently working on a white-tailed deer head, a little shrunken taxidermy on a wood round. Cracks me up. There really aren't any good patterns. The jackalope, I had a pattern, but I kind of went off the pattern and didn't like it. And the white-tailed deer, I don't like the pattern at all, so I'm just kind of free crocheting that one. I don't know if it's going to be super nice or not. Oh, Lord have mercy. Where do these people come from that have nothing better to do than to bother people? I wish I had the free time that idiots had. Boy, I'd run the world. But yeah, it's really hard to find authentic anything anymore because, and I'll tell you why. Everybody is so terrified to dip their patties in the water, to appreciate or try to replicate anything that they like that's out of the culture, because people are so daggum sensitive. It's stupid. If I see you trying to replicate something from my culture, I'm like, hey, you appreciate it. That's awesome. Thank you. Because it helps keep it alive in some way, shape, or form. I'm not mad about it. But everybody else is so upset. Like the stupid Sydney Sweeney jeans thing. Legit, if every person of every nationality, race, creed, color could do that and it not mean anything else, then it shouldn't mean anything else when the white woman does it. They could have picked anybody to put in them jeans and said that same line, and it would have meant boo diddly to me either way. But everybody's up in arms. And the thing is if we make everybody so intolerant and hate-driven, we can isolate, segregate, and then we can toy manipulate the entire population, and we are no longer free people with a free brain because we feel motivated by circumstances that are above our control. We're constantly thinking about how someone else will deem our actions or perceptions inappropriate that we're so scared we have no perceptions. Our perspective is completely obliterated because of fear. You're never going to make me too afraid to see something and say how I see it. And how do you go through life being so terrified to speak about anything? You can't have a life with meaning if you're so terrified you can't speak about anything, or you're so afraid of offending somebody. I offend somebody every day. And then we talk about it, and it's called growth, But you're going to do that whether you try or don't try, because you don't know what other people are dealing with or what they're thinking of. But you can't go through life worrying about your next 2 steps, because then you can't see 10 years down the road. And if you don't have, a long view and a short game, it's so easy for people to be manipulated. And you're wondering if somebody's going to be offended so much that you're not thinking about things you need to do for yourself to better your life, to change your life, to improve your living conditions, to improve your children's living conditions, because you're spending your time on stupid crap that you shouldn't even be worried about. Because if somebody don't like what you say, scratch your butt and get happy, because it's going to come out of my mouth anyway. I never walk up into anybody and intend to be hateful, but sometimes people just want to take things hateful. So, that's just, it's just what it is, what it is. It is what it is. I have a really, this is going to be my pet peeve, and I'll tell you my pet peeve, and I'll tell you why I have this pet peeve. And it's based in my religion and my culture. And in all the native lore and in all the Christian lore, I'm backwoods, non-denominational, basically. The only thing that never identified itself as male or female was evil. It was called a trickster, or it was evil. It was demonic. In those religions, that's how it goes. If it doesn't identify itself as male or female, if it says it is a they, them, a legion, a group, then it was evil. So from a religious standpoint, either way, either culture I'm straddled into, that makes me uncomfortable. But do I take offense when people are constantly calling people these pronouns? No, because it doesn't flipping concern me. It's that easy, y'all. It's that easy. I have a perspective based upon my culture and religion. It's a thought process that I'm filling out, and I can walk in the world and deal with anybody, and it doesn't bother me because I'm not offended. I'm more curious and concerned, but I'm not offended. I wish we get back to the curious and concerned. That would be really nice. Hey, America, wake up. Be curious and concerned. Stop being offended. It's getting tired. It's just getting really tired. So, well, that's all I really wanted to do today. I just wanted to finish this rattle. I'm going to do the glue and resin work tomorrow because it has been rainy here all day, and I don't want to open the windows and get my house all sticky, icky, humid. So I'll do the resin work and glue work tomorrow when I can open the windows. It's not going to rain as much tomorrow. I'm going to let Luna go potty, and then I'm going to rest for a little while, and then I'm going to make dinner, and then I'm going to crochet, and then I'm going to rest because tomorrow I have to go to the newspaper office and help her, and then I've got my repeat blood work and EKG. So I'm going to have a big day tomorrow. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things where we've had so much health stuff go on, and Luna's had so many seizures. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things to get back to where I can sit down and do the next couple of chapters of the book. It will be done because it's just too interesting and there's too much information to not put it out there. So it will be done. But I'm just having a hard time with everything going on and with my health too, to isolate time to sit down and get it done. So, but we'll get back to it. And if you're going to be out in the 127 sale and you're going to be around like the Tennessee, Kentucky line. I think David is going to be behind East Fork Stables. So feel free to come up and meet the man, the myth, the legend. He might not speak very many words, but I'm sure he'll appreciate you popping in and say hey. I don't know if I'm going to be there. It depends on my health and the heat and how Luna's doing. So it just a lot of things that it depends on. So, all right, well, I'm going to get my house in order and get prepared for a long day tomorrow. Thanks for spending time with me. We've almost got this done. I hope it goes to a good home. It's been the bane of my existence for about 2 months now, so I hope it goes to a good home. We'll see. I'll let you know when it does go. Yeah, and so go support David at the Etsy store. It's Hillbilly Heart Decor. I'll try to put a link when this loads and I can put a comment in. Are you going? Be careful out there, the crazy drivers. We decided to set up at the stables because it's just probably more people that will be drawn to our stuff instead of just regular yard sellers that actually look for certain things. So I think it'll work out. I'm not sure. Oh, and if Crystal watches this, I'm going to mail your possum Tuesday. I'm sending it to the same address to your daughter, so it will be on its way. And yeah, I've been busy, y'all. Okay, appreciate you hanging in there. More of the book to come. Just ignore the trolls. YouTube threw us back out in the algorithm. Thank you, YouTube. I really like my quiet side of the internet. YouTube, stop it. I'd rather people have a reason to come here than just throttle through and be a butthole. But anyway, society. We'll try again, maybe tomorrow, the next day, tomorrow evening, or the next morning, and see if we're throwing an algorithm then and try to get the next chapter of the book done. So wish me luck tomorrow with the newspaper and the health stuff, and I'll update you. Tuesday at the latest, I will see you again. Bye, guys.